I love this special guest that we've got in the studio this morning. And we're going to keep that specialness carrying on right now. We're going to talk about something that's very special. We're talking about equality, right? And that is very special when it comes to your significant other. Now, equality is a significant ingredient in any successful relationship. But what happens when your partner earns significantly more or less than you? Well, today we are asking the tough question in another round of Our Money Matters. But before we get into it, let's call Carlitos into the studio.
I thought we lost
section.
you.
Sorry, I was chatting to Idris, man.
Yeah, you're a new boy, man.
How unbelievably cute.
Right?
I know. I'm so glad Lindsay's in another country right now and not seeing that little beanbag of joy and love and cuteness.
Would have been over for you.
It would have been game over.
That's your new best mate out there. But let's get into this. Gentlemen, of course, let's talk about money. And you, Mzansi, can also potentially weigh in on this, and maybe you have something to say about. Let's say you and your partner's earnings are significantly different, right? Do you think it would be fair to split the household expenses accordingly?
Yeah, of course, dude. What do you mean? Like, I'm like, come on, man. You must pay. I use the term ecosystem all the time because the rules change.
Yes.
And we have realized, like, obviously my earning potential where I am, because Linz has been focused on Bubba and Bubba for the last significant part of her kind of career arc. But the difference a small change at home can make in terms of releasing our collective earning potential. So we look at it as a familial earning potential. And there are moments where she can punch way above my weight class because of how good she is at what she does. So when those moments arrive, we best reassess resources. But we look at it as a little company that's got to achieve certain financial goals, and we work in that sense. Because me being able to, for instance, just get 20 minutes at this time of the day to disconnect and do something can double my salary over that work period. So what's worth what, if you know what I mean? And it's just about understanding that flow. And I think most couples have to kind of go through that gateway at some point.
I like that. Carlitos, maybe I can ask you the next question on this one. Sorry, man, because I know that G is just kind of rounding up all these answers pretty dramatically.
Nice.
Have you ever experienced like a power imbalance when it comes to your relationship, like when it comes to different income levels? No. If you did, how would you deal with it? Let's say that your partner had an issue with the fact that you are making more money and it feels like you're not maybe coming to the party. What do you do in that situation?
My philosophy is simple. If there were two of you here and you earned 10 Rand and G earned 100 Rand, and I asked you for all your money, you'd give me 10 Rand. If I asked G, he'd give me $100. So that all is a concept too. And I want to make sure that whatever portion you are going to contribute to, that you contribute consistently and with conviction to the household as well. So I don't think there should be any power struggle in a home, because I think that the biggest fault in any relationship is somebody who is right and wrong. There are no right and wrongs in a relationship. It's always going to be something on the table. So I think it's quite important for you to know that the power struggle is a constant conversation. There's collective power. There's nobody overpowering anybody else. And when it comes to finances, which is so touchy in a socioeconomic climate as South Africa, we got to make sure that we're having those conversations a lot more often.
That's the most important thing, completely, is just talk about it. You might have completely differing views, but they balance each other out, which is great. I was thinking, actually, in light of what we've been talking about, sleep is probably more valuable than money. I think with us, it's like, who's going to get the nap now? Who's going to be the first to go to sleep? Because I think I've earned the sleep today. I get that. But how are you feeling about this? But as you prepare, hopefully, to take that next step in your own relationship, evolution, do you think you're going to need to have this conversation? How would you set it up once you get married?
You know what? I'm leaning towards this example right now in my life and looking at maybe joining certain bank accounts. Now, obviously you have these different income potentials, but I love how you put it. This collective potential that you have when you're joining with your partner, it exacerbates the potential of the situation so much more so that when you're constantly having the conversation and talking with each other, your potential is so much greater. You have options. Babe, I'm not doing well this month. Don't worry, I got you, and vice versa. And it allows you to both tackle so many other scenarios that you would never be able to do on your own. So for me, starting something like a joint bank account makes sense when we have a goal. What do we want to do? Do we want to move into a new house? Do we want to save for going away? A joint bank account makes sense because when we can look at, I'll put 50% of my income, you put 50% of yours in. We are collectively putting half of our potential into this bundle so that we can both enjoy, thrive, and reap the ROI that comes from it. So I love how you're saying the fact that conversation's key, the fact that when you work together, that potential gets increased as well. And I think that's the
opportunity. Doesn't mean you don't get your own bank account.
You
do. Still have your own
Yeah,
financial independence within that, which I think is so much more important for women, to be quite honest, once the family conversation starts. But that independence, that balance of, is absolutely vital. Even if you are in conflict with one another, you need that balance, but you are absolutely on the money. It starts with a conversation, right?
Gentlemen, always a pleasure having you in this conversation. So much pertinent stuff coming through. And if a joint bank account is not for you, then that's fine, that's okay. But you can help your partner save 50% on their banking fees. Listen to this. If you're a NEDBANK client with a transactional account and you join family banking on the Money app and then invite your partner to join too, they'll save 50% every month on their banking fees. So already, joining together saves you more. Now, for all the details and terms, you can visit nedbank.co.za or sign up on the NEDBANK Money app today for more incredible advice just like this.
50%, that's a lot.
You must be wondering how I got here, man. Enjoying bomadi sushi, got fork and knife over bubbles of sparkling water. But I didn't know the changes, Joe, because I chose NEDBANK, the bank that gives you discount upon discount in this country. I'll call it a bank with benefits, eh? Yeah. Value guaranteed.
Seriously?
Seriously.